Ozzy and Conan.
Yeah, it's the dynamic duo. Love the magic dragon.
All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to another edition of the Rock and Roll Geezer Show, your weekly rock news outlet. All the good, nasty things going on in that crazy freaking world out there. Yeah. I'm your host Murph, and boy, oh boy, we got a interesting. We got a show that's all over the place today. Got to talk about an incident happened at a fish show. That's right, you heard it right, fish. And we got fish, we got garbage, we got UPS in the news. That's right, UPS, yeah, the real UPS. Morrissey, Disturbed, disturbing news about Disturbed, and Kid Rock. Gotta talk about Kid Rock. What a schlock. You know, man, he just can't stay out of the news in one way or another. But yeah, we'll get going on that. But gotta bring in my co-host, obviously. So that's Doc Vox up there, yonder. What's going on up there, yonder, there, Doc?
Oh yeah, well, it's a kind of a bizarre batch of stories this week, I'm thinking, man.
Yeah.
And along with that, this weekend was Riot Fest. I didn't go. I'm, boo-hoo. I didn't go.
Heartbroken.
But, yeah, remember I was gonna go see the Sex Pistols, then they got canceled and everything. But yeah, I always try to kind of see what was going on, see what I missed and everything. And the performance I'm hearing the most about is Guar. And it's mostly political, that they did. What did they do? They disemboweled Trump. They what else they do? Yeah,
you notice my picture here. What was that? Who was that? Was that supposed to be
Putin.
Vladimir Putin?
Yeah, that was Putin. That's when we went to see him.
Go ahead, continue.
Well, no, I just thought they were just like making a big deal out of what they're doing, but they've always done that. They've done that as far back as they go. They've done that.
They cut off Elon Musk's head. Yeah, during the show, and everybody's freaking out. It's like, you're kidding, right? This is Guar. You understand? This is Guar. Right? This is, geez, that was the most bizarre. Boy, that was the most incredible summer of music ever in my life, and that was just a little part of it, man. They were so they covered everything with plastic, of course, because they're spewing naughty things out of their bodies, and it's just pretty amazing.
They had at least two roadies that was doing nothing but running hoses around and
hooking up hoses up to whatever his name is. What is his name?
I don't know.
Urangus or some.
Yeah, whatever.
Pustulus Urangus or something. I don't know, but that was a freaky show. And so when I saw this on the news, that they chopped a head off of an effigy of Elon Musk, it's like, that's Guar.
Yeah, that's what they always do. Yeah.
Okay.
I remember the first time I saw him, they had a Hillary Clinton, and she was ripped open, and Trump come climbing out of her, and so yeah, they've always done stuff like this, man.
But in this day and age, this wacky freaking day and age we live in, everything's out of control.
Right.
The normals,
everybody's so sensitive.
The normals no longer are adhered to. Except for
that's kind of the theme of the show, is kind of how the cultural landscape is kind of creeping into rock stories here, man. And you'll kind of see what we're talking about as we go along here. But starting off with the Fish concert, it's a freaking Fish concert, and the guy got stabbed to death.
Where are they? Oh, look at that! Look at that picture. That's a lovely Fish concert picture. That's delightful looking light show there, I must say. But it wasn't real delightful at one of their shows. By golly, where was this? This was at a Hampton, Virginia.
Oh, excuse me.
Yes.
Real quick, my fault. I can't let it go, though. We're not going to bring up Guar again. My new idea for our mashup, Simon and Garfunkel.
Oh, boy,
I'm not
would
sure
that
what that
be
would
great.
look or sound like, but Simon and Garfunkel, man.
Well, people have been ruining Simon and Garfunkel songs forever. I'm sure we're going to get into that a little later in the show, as a matter of fact, I believe.
Including Disturbed, yeah.
you let the cat out of the bag.
Oh my God!
Oh,
Sorry,
jeez.
I didn't.
All right.
I didn't catch
But
the
anyway,
hint, man. All right.
Guar. Yeah, Guar. That was really, it was, I don't know who he opened for. Maybe it was Rob Zombie or something. I don't know. It had to be one of them goofy guys.
Mudvayne. Yeah,
Mudvayne.
open up for Mudvayne. Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm glad you got the memory, because man, my whole memory these days is just geared on remembering lyrics.
Well, I remember that because it was a show that my daughter Chloe went with us. So it
Oh,
was
okay. I
kind of put all
remember.
that together. Had
I
that point of reference,
remember
you know.
nothing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was great. That was wild though. But anyway, yeah, here we are at Fish, for crying out loud. Good old Fish, and yeah, one dead and two injured in a fatal. Now it says a fatal stabbing at a Fish concert, but it was outside the venue. Let's start right out with that. It's like, well, they're not inside. Hoo ha,
Right.
stabbing the hell out of people. This was
Well, like an
outside.
Altamont situation, yeah, right.
Yeah, but September 19th, a jam band was at the Hampton Coliseum in Hampton, Virginia as part of their 2025 tour. Police responded to this is from Loudwire, by the way. Police responded to a violent altercation just after 9:30 Eastern. According to police report, according to a report, the suspect fled the scene on foot, but detectives managed to identify all parties involved, adding it appears to be an isolated incident. Of all the places, jeez, man, oh man. Preliminary investigation report: an argument had taken place among several individuals, of course, which escalated into a physical altercation. During the altercation, one victim sustained a life-threatening injury, while two others sustained non-threatening. Like how I use sustain
It's
there.
in the sustain.
It's supposed to be sustained non-life-threatening injuries. Following the incident, the suspect fled the scene on foot. Additional officers in the area were able to locate and detain a possible suspect shortly thereafter. First victim transported to a local hospital where he later succumbed to his injuries. Jeez, this is a freaking Fish concert.
It's Fish
Peace,
concert, yeah.
love, colorful clothes, flowers in your hair, bloom, bloom.
Yeah.
Wow. Like I say, the society's just totally out of whack. Everything's out
Yeah,
of
this
whack.
is this generation's Grateful Dead, man. It's all supposed to be
Yeah.
peace and love and you know,
Boy, I want,
cheese
well,
sandwiches or whatever. But yeah, it was outside and it was at an illegal merch. Well, it wasn't illegal, an unofficial, I guess, because they have it set up for people to do that, so it's not illegal, I guess.
all
But
right.
it's unofficial merch table or card. I don't know
Really,
what they had
it's
set
at a
up there.
merch table.
Yeah. Merch. It says during the show at an unofficial merchandise booth. That's what it says. So,
Wow.
I don't know. Were they fighting over the last T-shirt or something?
Or the prices, or
I'd love to know what escalated this to that point, or what started it, how this got escalated to the point where you're at a fish show. First of all, bringing a knife to a fish show.
really, that's not good intentions there. Why would you even think of it? Wow. Well, we'll have to keep an eye out and see if we get more information down the road on
I don't
that.
know. Everybody's just so angry anymore, man. You can't
I
even
don't
go
get
to one of the most peaceful, you would think, most peaceful bands to go see. I mean, you're not like going to see, I don't know, NWA or something. You're going to see Fish, man.
Yeah.
You know,
So yeah, so a
man.
couple more were injured, but they're gonna be all right. But man, oh man, it just ruined his life. Whoever it was, you won't be seeing Fish. You'll be seeing dog. I don't know. You're going to prison for a
Sleeping
long
with the
time.
fish, yeah.
He's sleeping with the fishes. Yeah, too many creepers. I swear, people are nuts. So, and here we go. God, this is like the worst picture of her ever. Let me get out of the way. Shirley Manson. Look at that horrible picture. I found it. It's like, yeah, I have to use because what the hell are you thinking, gal? Come on. But this is interesting. I always thought that bands make most of their money by touring. The touring income. But Shirley Manson, she's they're on tour and she's explaining that Garbage's final U.S. headline tour is the final tour is due to, quote, the thievery of the record industry. Subtitle, we don't know if we'll ever see you again. So this is interesting. The thievery of the record industry, I can understand the recording side of it, but I thought that's where you make, especially if you ain't one of the big top bands that make so much money off of recording itself, you make your money off of touring. And she's saying that they ain't even, apparently, they're not even making money on touring anymore. So that's pretty
Well,
sad.
specifically headlining, which, that gets me back. My first thought was, and we've talked about it before, how Alice Cooper doesn't headline. He's always on with somebody else. So he knows something. He's on to
smart.
something where the finances are better to not headline. So
Seeing him in 2 weeks. Yeah. Seeing him in 2 weeks. And he's opening for Judas Priest. Boom. Just proven the point. But she says she goes on now. We have, as a band, decided that due to basically the economics of the music industry, that we have to curtail our headline touring business. Headline, yeah. It has, thanks to the thievery of the record industry, made touring very, very difficult. She goes on, we're not complaining. We've had an effing great run. I bring this up only because my concern is, of course, for young musicians who go out there and tour. They're holding down jobs. They take 2 weeks off their work, and then they go around the country. Sometimes they're sleeping in their van. Sometimes they're staying in really, really dodgy so-called motels, and it's dangerous and it's really unacceptable, and it has really got to stop. Whatever's going on, it really has to stop. It's unsafe and it's acceptable. Wait a second. Bands have been going around the world in country in vans forever. What are they supposed to put them up in 5-star hotels? Bands have been doing that forever. Gosh, I don't know. Jeez, dude, I don't know.
Well, maybe she's talking like when you normally would get to that next step. There is no next step. You're still just cruising around in a van. I don't know. But she goes on to talk about how only the wealthy or kind of the financially independent can tour. And that it's only the well-to-do that can afford to even get into music anymore. And she had an industry quote says, "We're losing bands from working-class beginnings to risk takers." And that's exactly right. That's rock and roll, man. It's not from the I don't know.
Well, yeah. She said, what you lose are the baby starter bands coming from working-class beginnings and any middle class of musicians. They're not the ones who are making really accessible Main Street sounding music, but the ones who take the risks. Perhaps they're making music that's perhaps super heavy, that's esoteric and strange. You can hear that capitalist and economic strain in today's music. Now thanks to capitalism, you're hearing today's music. I don't get that, putting that word in there.
It's double-edged sword.
I'm sure I'm sure it's all the music, the big industries now, choking music and all this stuff.
Right.
Well, it's the freaking
the same time
internet.
they brought it to us, and it's
the internet that's ruined music.
It's
that's ruined
mass consumption because of that. But yeah, we're right. Well, because of their reaction to it, though, because of the record company's lack of reaction to the internet, and now they're trying to. Yeah, so now they're trying to recoup all that in other ways. That's basically screwing artists, man. It's a no-win situation. We've talked about a lot of times how it's so hard for upcoming bands, and she's kind of hit the nail on the head there. If you don't have another source of income, it's almost impossible.
Wow. Well, yeah, and just hiring the tour bus, I guess that costs an arm and a freaking leg.
Right. Well, we talked about that too. The
just that
logistics,
alone, the tour bus, the logistics of it. It just so I can understand it if it's gotten to that point where when they can't, they're not making the music, but they're making music touring, and if they stop making music touring, then everything's gonna collapse, for crying out loud. So yeah, she's got a point there, but get a better outfit, sweetheart. Jeez, look at that. That scares children. You don't want to do that. Too many.
Remember we saw them. That was a fine show.
Yeah, that was an excellent show. Yeah, they rocked really hard. Now, who did they play with? Do you remember?
They opened up for Tears for Fears,
which was another great band. That was boy. that was a hell of a summer, dude. We saw some great. I dug Tears for Fears, man. They were really on that night. But yeah, there you go, Marilyn Manson, Marilyn.
Maryland,
Yeah,
Shirley.
surely. Well, I keep thinking of that meme keeps coming up to me. Who is it? Uh, 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 Marilyn Manson and wait, is it
Marilyn Monroe and
Marilyn
Charles
Monroe and
Manson.
Charles Manson? And they
Yeah.
got Marilyn Manson. Oh, that's about the only thing the AI should be used for, stuff like that. But anyway, moving on. Uh-oh. Where is it? Oh, where's the? There it is. UPS. There's the good people of UPS. There's a plane. The plane's flying away with somebody's guitars. Oh no! Yes, ladies and gentlemen, UPS has lost some guitars from a guy who calls himself an 80s icon and woke as F. And that would be Johnny Marr, the one and only Johnny Marr. Yeah, yeah. He shipped some guitars on UPS and they
First
got
mistake.
lost. Yeah, they got lost. Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, well, okay, Doc. Well, we work for what was it? People, Fortune 100, Fortune 200 company.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Doc was supervisor, and I ran the receiving department. So we dealt with UPS a bunch, and I'm surprised they lost anything, unless I don't know. I don't know, I don't know specifics. Were they nondescript cases, or did he have stuff written all over it?
Well,
You
that's what he
know,
said. He had the.
if that was really on the case, then he deserves to get him, dumbass. So apparently, well, he says that
Well, it's definitely going to make it desirable to somebody if they see a case going by that says 80s icon. Gee, they have no idea whose it could be. It could be a million different.
It's gone now.
I'll tell
Yeah,
you, not a million, but it could be 100 different people. It could be Joe Perry's, could be Steve
regardless.
Stevens, could
What-
be
Yeah, but they don't care. Icon 80s? Yeah, some shady sucker's gonna take that.
If I was
sucker.
a younger dude, I mean not now, but was a younger guy, my 20s or whatever, and I'm seeing something that go by that says that, I might take a stab at it and nab it. Why not? The woke is F one, they leave that one alone. But when it says 80s icon,
somebody down a conveyor belt on the other side of the political spectrum would say that. Oh yeah, boom, off that goes. So yeah, if they weren't in nondescript cases, then I'm sorry, dude. That's being about as stupid as you can be. Snort too much cocaine back in the day or what? Yeah, geez. If that was really on the cases, then I'm sorry. I have very little pity for them. Why not advertise it? Why not steal this guitar?
I know exactly what I'm saying. I know.
Steal this guitar. So
it's an 80s icons guitar.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. So
well, even if somebody didn't snatch it, though, you go with the UPS. There's a possibility pretty high. Well, I would say pretty high, but higher than I would like to take the risk to have a iconic guitar go through, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, he lambasted.
UPS is pronounced as oops. So there you go. It's oops.
Oh, wow, good call. But yeah, so they lost track of some guitars he was trying to transport. I'm guessing it was just a couple. He says, "Dear UPS, where are my guitars? They disappeared a week ago. I'm hearing from you now that they've been lost. Explain." And then, he did a bunch of posts asking the UPS wanted to know what the guitars looked like, the guitars look like. And that's when he said, one says 80s icon and the other one says woke as F. Well, if that's actually true, then sorry, dude. Don't tell me they're iconic guitars when you're going to put a label on them that says steal me. Gee, many creepers. Never got anything. We got a lot of UPS stuff in at the plant. Never got anything that said "steal me." God, I did have stuff delivered though. When I bought one of my Mesa Boogie amplifiers, and I just had it's the hell with it. I'll have them delivered to work because I know it'll make it. Sure enough, right. Yeah, they delivered it to work. So yeah, he's bummed. He's bummed. So look for 2 guitars that say '80s icon and woke as F. And boy, I don't know. I don't. I'd like to know what kind of guitars they were, but like I say, we've dealt with UPS our whole lives, yeah, if them labels were on it, well, steal me. They stole them,
Yeah, yeah.
So shame on him, and it should be a roadworthy case. It might have been, but yeah, you don't put crap like that on it. Gee, you don't put a Led Zeppelin, Jimmy Page
Right.
guitar. Let's ship it to UPS. It'll get
You
there.
want to put in a case that looks as beat up and just as worthless, and yeah.
Wow, wow, wow. So,
Yeah, Johnny Marr, and then of course his good buddy Morrissey is in the news.
oh, geez, poor Morrissey. My gosh, I don't know about this. What the heck? Morrissey cancels 2 U.S. shows after a death threat. Just running good people are far out, man. Far out, man. Yeah, yeah. God, I hate him. And some of the comments, I dug some of the comments I saw. I'd like to take him out for a steak, stuff like that.
Well, I told you when I saw him at Riot Fest, people were throwing meat up on the stage at him and shit. Yeah.
God
Because
bless.
he had it in the clause. Meat couldn't be sold during his performance. Which, whatever, dude. Everybody's out there eating burgers and Italian beefs and shit all day. And Morrissey's on. Let's just
we won't go
have a salad, whatever.
Yeah, no. Oh, gosh. So yeah, Morrissey. He had some issues, man. He had some issues. He had let me see. Hang on, let me get it up here. Well, he posted the news on September 19th. He says, in recent days, there has been a credible threat on Morrissey's life. Out of an abundance of caution for the safety of both artist and audience, tonight's engagement at Foxwoods has been canceled. We appreciate your understanding. Yeah, so he canceled a couple of gigs. And apparently, a 26-year-old man has been released on bail after allegedly making a threatening post to Morrissey on the social media platform Blue Sky. Blue Sky. I've heard of that. I think it's a
that's
the Musk buying
exactly.
Twitter.
Yep.
Okay,
exactly.
okay.
Yep.
And September 4th. It was written on September 4th, and the account was named. The account this guy used. The account name was "Guy Who Gets Shot in the Head 100,000 times a day." That's a hell of an account name, dude. That's not going to draw any attention. So, I don't know. Well, in this day and age, who knows?
So here's the thing: the guy made the comments for before the show in Ottawa, Canada,
Mm-hmm.
and they went ahead with that show. They didn't have a problem with that show, and they arrested the guy, and then he was released on bail. But then they canceled the 2 shows in the U.S. in Connecticut and Boston.
So what's he going to come down from Canada?
That's what I'm saying. Why? That's an overabundance. I'm not exactly sure what that says. Canada went ahead and went through with it, and they were the target of the threat.
Yeah.
But here's the 2 shows in the U.S. bail, and there was no threat, immediate threat anyway.
He just doesn't want meat thrown at him, man.
I don't know if it was his call. It might have been the venue. I don't know whose call it was. I don't know.
I don't want meat thrown at me, man. I can't.
Oh, I'm sure he's had plenty of death threats before, man.
I'm sure there've been plenty of meat thrown his way, if you know what I mean. I'm just saying. I don't know. I'm just guessing. So there you go.
His big thing was he's asexual. He's above
brother.
all that, man. Yeah, he was a virgin. He might still be a virgin for all I know.
I'll bet he is. Yeah, like
and then another Morrissey news. He's looking to sell his portion of the business of the Smiths. And
needs the money. Yeah.
It got overwhelmed with messages and turned it off. I mean, just go through it like the normal channels. Like people do. What are you putting like a ad on Craigslist or something? 80s iconic singer looking to sell off of.
No, you go find Sony Music Group and all of them. You talk to them and say what kind of deal can we work out? Because I'm tired of having. Now he
Says
wants to
I am.
retire. Yeah. Huh?
Yeah, he
Go
says
ahead.
I am burnt out by any and all connections to Marr, Rourke, and Joyce. I have had enough of malicious associations. So he's looking just to sell it off and just wash his hands and feet of the whole the Smiths
Oh,
all together. So
wow.
too bad.
That's
We talked about it before. There's a lot of money on the table if they ever guys want to get together. But
uh I guess they just don't want to. That's all I got to say about that. All right, moving on. Moving on. Here's a disturbing bit of news. Oh, that's right. I said it. There they are, Disturbed. The boys from Disturbed. Well, they made it into the Illinois Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. By golly, they've been inducted. They've been induced into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in a full circle moment for a band that once had to knock doors down just to be heard. Chicago's own Disturbed was officially inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on Sunday night during the ceremony at the Rialto Square Theater in Joliet. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, good old Joliet. Joliet Jake. Yeah, yeah. Members
you
of
ever
the...
been there to the Rialto Square?
No, nope.
I've never seen a show there either. There's shows there all the time. I think about, but never
Yeah,
been there.
yeah. Well, they reflected on their incredible journey from a public storage unit to global stardom. Wow. They were Southsiders, man. Southside Chicago.
Yes, I saw you. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, yeah, they all delivered their big old speeches and whatnot. I'm not going to go through the whole speech, but they thanked everybody, family, friends, and all that stuff. And I don't know. I can't. It's going to be hard to. If it was up to me, Doc, if it was up to me, I'd yank that induction right away just for them screwing up a Simon and Garfunkel song. You know, you got the Simon and Garfunkel song, if I will.
Simon and Garfunkel. Yeah.
Yeah, they screwed up that. You don't mess with. No, 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 no. But they did, and it was real. What was it? Sound of Silence.
Sound of
Real
Silence, yeah.
popular and all that stuff. But no, no, no. I grew up on the original. You don't need a remake. You know. They're not going to remake Back to the Future. There's certain things you just let be. But no. So yeah, they're in. I don't know how they got in, for Christ's sakes. The lucky son of a guns. Well, I imagine they're running short on bands on people to.
We need to go. First of all, it's a half an hour away, man. There's no reason we haven't been there. Shame on us. We should have been.
All right.
But it's been around,
I'll take
3-4
the shame.
years now or whatever. Yeah, I know. Shame on us. And yeah, I mean, after the first couple years, you got the obvious, Chicago and Cheap Trick and
REO.
Styx and REO Speedwagon and the old blues guys, Buddy Waters and all those guys. You got the obvious guys. But yeah, by the time that you get into, I don't know, what, in the fourth year now. So this is who's going in. Oh, by the way,
What?
we were talking about in the regular Rock and Roll Hall of Fame how like Judas Priest got in the back doorway and they got that's how Disturbed got in, dude. They
Really?
didn't get
The
in.
Musical Excellence Award or something like that?
Yeah, it's called the President's Choice Award. Is what it's called.
That sounds like a ranking of beef from Walmart or something. Jeez.
So it says so here's oh my god, when did it go to? So here's who's got in these are the bands that got in regularly.
Okay.
The regular
The real
ones.
way. Okay. Real way.
Enough's enough.
Really?
Enough's enough.
Well, I imagine if you wear that goofy ass outfit long enough, somebody has noticed with
Well,
their
that's what I'm
big
saying.
round glasses. And
You put in, I don't know how many inductees were in the first couple of years, but after 3-4 years, that's what you're down to. Enough's
Yeah.
enough, man. There's the other one. Head East. I didn't know Head East was from Illinois.
I'll be darned. But well,
They had one song. Never had any reason. That's the only song. I mean, I got their album Flat as a Pancake, but
God, I
that's the only
played that song in
anybody
a
knows.
band.
Oh yeah, it's a great song. Yeah.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I think a version of it is on the YouTube. Yeah. Okay, moving on. Yeah.
Tim Drummond. Don't know who that is.
Tim
DJ
Drummond. Would
maybe?
that be John Bulldog Drummond's son or something? I don't know.
Delmark Records. A lot of them are record companies. So Delmark Records,
Run the,
old blues label. I have plenty of Delmark records.
run the
Yeah,
forecastle of a tramp steamer.
yeah.
Oh,
Radio station Q101
okay. Yeah, yeah.
and long time Chicago rock and roll DJ Mitch Michaels.
Oh, yeah. I'm friends with him on Facebook. Yeah. You
So
betcha. Yeah,
and
yeah.
then they had
Long time.
the special awards include the Lifetime Achievement Award to the Shy Lights. Remember the
Okay.
Shy Lights? Yeah, is that cool?
Good.
Founder's Choice Award is Susie Bogus. I think she was a country gal.
Yes, yes. She's not
And
bogus.
President's Choice Award to Disturbed.
That's disturbing. By the way, I like your shirt. I think I got that album, as a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I probably do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great album.
Disturbed. Yeah. Who's it going to be next year? Geez, I might get in at some point. My God.
That's what I'm thinking.
Some no-name guy down there.
You hang in there. Hang in for about 10 more years, and you might have a shot, man.
Well, Jiminy's, they're going to have to stop giving out so many of them and only give out like a couple a year just so they don't run out of people. You know,
Right.
No, you can't give 5 or 6 out a year. You could give a couple maybe. And geez. The boys from Illinois, they were unbelievable, man. Gosh, and it's a shame because, I mean, we saw them a lot in the clubs, and it was like 130 decibels of a wall of sound. It was it blew our freaking minds. And then they went into the studio and put all these songs on a record. And
Too Wild to Tame.
Too Wild to Tame. And the producers really screwed it up. It sounded so un-Walla soundish. It was sad. It was because after singing those songs so many times, basically feeling the sound waves blowing by, it was so loud. And they're up there jumping around with the windmills and throwing the organ over and playing it at just insanity. And then you heard the album, and it's like, damn, not really. Is Off Broadway in there yet? Do you know?
Oh, probably not. Probably.
Well, that was a pretty big hit, I think, nationwide. So I'm sure they'll be in soon enough because Stay in Time.
Yeah, they get this right. Yeah, sure. Yeah,
we do that. We play that song. The band plays that song. Yeah.
You play more than a couple.
You know, geez, you're our sound engineer. You know what the hell? Yeah, duh. God. So
we're telling the folks.
What now? What? Who? Say what?
No, go ahead.
No, I'm just, I'm just blowing air through my mouth, man. Freaking A. So yeah, Disturbed. It's disturbing at the
let me give you here's my best Paul Harvey. Now you know the rest of the story. Talking about the boys.
Mm-hmm.
The boys were in California, and they were playing in a club, and an iconic rock icon, a rock icon was there to see them. And ended up seeing the first band, and ended up going backstage and trying to sign them. And who was that? That was when Gene Simmons went to see the boys. He was there to see the boys.
Yeah,
saw Van Halen opening for the boys.
Whoa!
That's when Gene Simmons discovered Van Halen was opening for the boys. Yep.
Oh my gosh, that would have been like probably 77 or 78.
I was 70. I'm thinking 77. Yeah.
Van Halen.
The album came out in 78.
Yeah,
78. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, but they really, you listen to the sound quality of Van Halen's freshman offering, and then the boys. The production was so bad. Yeah, it hurt, man. It hurt.
I didn't have time to put that story together. I was trying to be like one of them Paul Harvey. Now you know the rest of it.
Now you know the rest.
I didn't have time to put that together. I was trying to do it on the fly. It didn't come out how I
Paul
wanted
Harvey,
to. But anyway,
man. Far out,
nice
man.
little tidbit nonetheless.
True that. Here's another good tidbit. I love this. Where is he? Where is he? There he is.
Oh, speaking of tidbits, yes.
Kid Rock. Oh, Kid Rock. Well,
This is the stupidest freaking story.
these people, these politicians, and these guys, Kid Rock, really, you know, here we go. You know, Kid Rock, you know, total leftist, pro-Trumpy, all that stuff, and he,
Total
jeez.
leftist, what?
No. You're right. You know, you're right. Gavin Newsom is a leftist. So him
Yeah.
and Gavin Newsom are getting into a Twitter spat, if you will, a little Twitter spat, and like you say, Doc, it's just really ridiculous. But in the end, governor of California has banned Kid Rock, his music from California. You know, I don't feel bad about it.
Come
No, I'm
on,
just kidding.
Pritzker, what you got? Make your move, Pritzker.
I'm just kidding. Gosh, but Governor Pritzker, they put out a meme that seems to show Kid Rock supporting Gavin Newsom. Shows a picture of Kid Rock and he's pointing at the camera and he says, you know, I'm here to support Gavin Newsom. And then Kid Rock replied, "The only support Gavin Newscum will
Right.
ever get out of me is from D's nuts." Oh my gosh! And
What does
so
that even mean? That's just like the stupidest
what is
comeback.
D's nuts? I don't even know what that
I don't
even, you know,
know.
refers to. I don't want to know.
What are you in seventh grade, man?
I know. But then, and you know, Newsom, I'm, you know, Newsom, Governor Newsom, or whatever his name is, he says he comes back because of his horrific music. California will indefinitely suspend Kid Rock from performing in the Golden State. You're welcome, GCN, Gavin Newsom. So here we go. You know, these people, they all laugh about it, while our debt just, you know, here we go, political. You know, I just can't get by our national debt, how they just keep spending it, boom, boom,
Right.
boom, boom, and they all laugh at crap
That's
like
the last.
this.
Yeah, it's the last thing anybody talks about. Yeah, you're right.
And to me, the national debt is the only important thing in terms of this country and our future. And they just, nobody wants to talk about it. Let's keep these guys going at each other, because then they don't. You know,
Yep.
their plan's working brilliantly. I got to give them that, man. But you know, some of us got our eyes open. So these jerks, you know, we're screwed, man. But yeah, they're screwed in a good way here on the Rock and Roll Geezer Show. You know, the hits just keep on coming with these nut jobs, and we'll keep bringing it to you, man, because Jiminy Creepers.
Well, you know, I don't know. First of all, he
Go ahead.
can't ban him, right? He can't ban him from the state, can he?
No,
I don't
he can't.
think
That's just
he
a
can.
joke, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
He's
Well, that's
just
just
trying to
it.
be like
It's a
Trump.
bad joke. Exactly. It's a bad joke trying to be like Trump. But what good can come from that?
Nothing.
Honestly,
And
what good
the
can come
thing
from
is,
that?
Trump just speaks off the top of his head. You know, he says whatever, and it's him. It's
Right.
him being him. Where
Right.
you know, politicians, they, you know, they just try to follow trends and stuff. They say
Right,
what
right.
they think the people want to hear, not what's
Right.
just coming out of their mind. So there's two totally different animals, and these
Have a team
goofballs.
of writers and a focus group and whatever else to try to get the statement out and everything. But
Well, some.
I'm sure Kid Rock wears just like a badge of honor, right? Yeah,
Oh,
I
I'm
got
sure.
banned from California from Newsom. So you know what I think
sure.
he should do? I think the best thing he should do is put on a charity event in California
Yeah.
and have the money go to the LA fire victims, the money that was supposed to go from the other concert that never got to them.
10
And
million.
have him do a concert and have it actually go to them. That would shut Newsom's ass up. But hey, whatever.
Well, real quickly, you know,
I hope he does it.
they had that big fire there, last year or whatever, the Palisades fire, where all
Yeah, January this year. Yeah,
they were all burnt down, and nothing's being rebuilt. So that tells you all you need to know about California.
That's what I'm saying. So have him do a charity and
That's
have the
money.
money actually go to rebuilding stuff and show how easily it can be done. And
Boy, but yeah, all them people.
not
on
only would that
coast,
shut Newsom up, not to get political, but that would shut Newsom up, and that would ruin his chances in 28, which everybody knows he's thinking
well,
about.
that should be an example, and people can't rebuild their homes because of these guys. What you know, and they all got money.
Regulations and,
All
red
these
tape.
coastside houses that burned down, these people they're rolling in the bucks. They got the money
Yep.
to get this stuff rolling, and they can't. So
Yep.
they have other visions for that seaside property. Needless to say,
Right.
but enough with the politicians. These jerks, Kid Rock. Jeez, just keep putting out terrible music and stealing other people's riffs. I don't know. What do I know, Doc? Jeez, nothing, man. But I do know it's a crazy good show, and I dig the heck out of it. And there's your cat behind you there. Yeah,
Yeah, I see him.
yeah, dig that, man.
He's an
But
idiot.
oh well,
Yeah,
yeah,
whatever.
cats are cats, man. But anyway, yeah, we'll see what goes on this week, man. Let me see. We got a gig coming up this weekend. That's good.
Yes, we do.
Looks
Saturday
like the
night,
weather
yeah.
will be good. Yeah, yeah, that's good. So we'll see what's going on, man. Until then, take it home, brother.
Yeah, like I said, kind of a bizarre week. And kind of everything kind of, I don't know, kind of like I said, the angry culture is seeping into rock events. And
Yes.
I don't like it. I don't want it. I don't like it.
Here,
But
here.
we'll see what happens next week. Hopefully, some better news, something cheery, somebody doing some good somewhere. So hopefully, we'll see what happens, and we'll talk about it. Hope you'll join us. Hope you'll join us. Until then, have a great rock and roll filled week, everybody.